For the second part of this project, we're going to bring together all of your chapters into one InDesign document that lays out your entire book. To get started, you need to have already finished laying out all of the different chapters in their individual InDesign documents. Next, we can go into InDesign. Let's close out and put away any unnecessary paragraph styles and other panels. We'll go up to File, down to New, and create a new book. We want to save this book inside the same layout as all of your other chapters. So I'm going to give it the name of our book. We'll call it Jane Eyre Book. Notice that the format is an INDB. And when you say Save, this is going to give you a blank panel in the middle of your screen. Inside of this panel is where we want to add all of our InDesign documents. So let's choose the plus sign. And it's going to ask us to locate all of our chapters. So I'm going to click on the very top chapter, go down to the bottom and select it, and we'll say Open. Give it a second to think about it, and it will start to compile all of our different chapters within the book panel that we have. Notice that when it does this, it's also going to start to change out the page numbers that we have for automatic pages. This may take a couple of moments to do, but once it's set up, it's a simple matter of placing things where we need them to go. Alright, with all the chapters combined, now when we have a look at our panel, you can see that they're in alphabetical order. So if you need to, you can select any of these chapters and re-change the position of them simply by clicking on it and dragging down. So if for whatever reason you've got a chapter or a page out of order, by clicking and dragging you can place it in a different spot and it will update the page numbers from here. We'll put chapter 1 back to where it needs to be. The next thing we need to do is to go into each of our chapters and make sure everything is cleaned up appropriately. For instance, if I open up chapter 1, we can see that it does indeed start on page 1, and when I do open it, you can see a little dot will appear, letting us know that this document is opened up. In my case, I don't necessarily want this to be the first page that it starts on. I want this page to be left as a blank page. So I'm going to go to chapter 1, choose my blank page and apply it to this top page and keep that there. However, if we open up chapter 2, we'll double click on this. You can see that because we started off on an even page, notice that the even pages are starting on the left-hand side here, and it automatically flows. However, if we go to the very last page, you can see it's added some extra pages in the act of shifting things around. If this happens to you, simply go to your Pages panel, select any empty pages that you have, and hit the trash can to delete them away. We'll say OK. Doing this will remove the pages and it will automatically update the page numbers for everything else that's within here. Repeat this process for each of the different chapters, opening them up one at a time and fixing any necessary parts of it and removing pages as you need. Once you've got all of the different chapters already set up, the last thing we can do is to create a final InDesign document that has our table of contents and our title page. So I'm going to save chapter 2. Let's close it out. Let's also save chapter 1. And we can close it out and repeat this process for all of the different chapters. So to create our initial first pages, let's return to our template that we created by double-clicking on it, creating our new document, and let's treat this as the first pages that we want to lay out. So let's locate the text that we're working with, double-click this, and I want to highlight all of this through my table of contents. We'll copy that, and just like we did with the others, paste it directly into here. Now we do want to break this up accordingly, so since this is all going to be on my title page, I'm going to set my cursor to start at chapter 1, and we'll go to Type, Insert a break character, and I'm going to do a page break right there. And let's format our title page. With it selected, I'm going to do just a very basic, simple title page setup. Jane Eyre needs to be the largest, so we'll let that be large. I'll even let it be bold, and we'll bring it down. Jane Eyre, an autobiography. We'll let the words by be set off by themselves. Now your design should be different from what I have, but I'm going to do mine very quickly just to get this set out. Okay, so this will be my title page. Now naturally I don't want my title page to have a header or a footer to it, so I'm going to go back to my Pages panel, selecting my None page, and we'll place that to be here. Now in dealing with my Table of Contents pages, I want these to have my table of contents on one side and then the page numbers running down the side of each of those. How you choose to style yours is going to be left up to you, and how you want them to flow across the page and the number of pages it takes is also going to be determined. I'm going to keep mine nice and simple just for the sake of this demonstration, but let me give you some things to think about. For instance, I want to have all of my chapters be lined up along their Roman numeral on one side, and then have the page numbers lined up along themselves on the other. To do this, I need to set up some tabs. So I'm going to select all of my text and open up my Tabs panel. To do that, we can go under Type and choose Tabs. Let's have the first tab be set, let's select it again. Highlight all of your text. I'm going to have my first tab be set, and this is going to be a right align tab, to be, say, at my 2-inch mark right here. This means every time I hit my tab character, it will automatically move my chapter title over to that particular mark and have it nice and lined up. So very quickly and easily, all I've got to do is go through and set each of those chapters to be set up for that. The next thing I'll do, let me set this up again, so we'll highlight this, we'll go back and set those, is to do another tab. In this case, I'll do a left align tab about 1/2 inch over, and again, we'll set it to be a left align tab. And this will be for a page number. So when I hit tab again, this can be page 1, hit tab again, page 20 whatever, hit tab again, page whatever, and it lines up with that particular number. So you can see how tabs are a great way of quickly and easily setting and aligning all of these. Give me just a moment, we'll go through and set up tabs, and then we'll go through and type in all of our chapter numbers that we need for the start of our book. Now to determine the page numbers, this is where your book panel is going to come in handy. With it open, I can zoom in and I can see that chapter 1 starts on page 1, chapter 2 starts on page 8, 3 on page 16. So I just need to make sure it's appropriately matched over here. So in this case, chapter 2 is page 8, page 16, page 28, 47, so on and so forth. Do, however, make sure you press the tab key just to move that over. So 28, 47, 63, and continue on until you type in all of the different chapter numbers for each of your chapters. To save your book, go to the Options and let's save the book to make sure everything is saved. Then click on the very top and then scroll down to the very last and choose your last page. Then returning to the options, let's export the book to a PDF. This will give it a moment to collect all of the pages. In our case, we want to give it a name, so in Jane Eyre Book PDF, in my case I'll replace the one that I previously made. Make sure the Pages is selected, and under Marks and Bleeds you have no crop marks or bleed marks turned on. We're just going to export the entire single pages. When you say export, this will take all of your pages and combine them together into one single PDF. Once it's done, you've got your PDF created, and this is the PDF that you will turn in to the Moodle page to be printed off.